You Network Mixer. We had an amazing time, an amazing day of connection, you guys. And so my message to you is that this year, wherever you're trying to go, we can get there so much faster and so much quicker when we do things together, okay? Your network is your network. I have TMI with Tate. Y'all send some hearts with Tate. TMI with Tate is his YouTube channel is blowing up. I'm telling you, a lot of people always drop on once. Monique, it's okay. We're going to be getting together again. And I see you being a voice for the people. I have heard you speak. Hey, yeah, you finally catching me. Okay, so if you are looking to start your own podcast, you definitely want to connect with Mr. Tate right here. Drop your link, Tate, where they can find you. He is blowing up on YouTube, supporting other influencers. So with the virtual world, if you cannot get in somewhere, he can pilot your show from wherever he is. Wherever you are in the world, okay? And so my guest is here. I'm about to send him an invite. Hearts in the comment right now. I have the wonderful Arkevious, and we're going to get that straight. There he goes, you guys. Woo!
Let's go.
Hey, hey.
Let's go.
It's about to be a vibe. Let's get your vibe going. Hey. Let me get your song playing. They're coming in. Drop some heart. That's your testimony. I know you was feeling that.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, every time I speak, I come out on that.
You know, I'm so thankful for connection. Okay? Because that's what I do. I said, what is your song? Because I knew that I have my song. Mine is Make It Happen by Mariah Carey. That got me through. But when I listened, I said, when I saw your before and after, I said, he has to have a theme song and I need to know what it is. Yeah. But through that song, it was a testimony. Okay, but it told the story and it was glory in that song on where you are today. We have lots of people tapping in. Thank you, Raycon. All the people that are joining tonight, you are not here by accident. And so I have, and let me say it because I'm in the South, I'm Southern girl, okay? We have a Southern drawl down here. And it's the Arkevious.
Oh, yeah, you really got a Southern drawl, don't you?
Yes.
It's with the E, Arkevious.
Arkevious. Okay, Arkevious. I wanted to make sure. Very good. So Arkevious Armstrong was born in Gastonia, North Carolina. His life experience from foster care, detention centers, being a high school dropout with many run-ins with the law, eventually landed him in prison on 2 separate occasions. While incarcerated, he earned his GED. Come on, drop some hearts for that. He earned his GED. Okay, and completed many educational programs. This allowed him to gain an earnest passion for empowering and motivating individuals about the importance of education by helping them make healthier choices and decisions in life. Since being released in 2006, Glory, Arkevious has devoted his time with mentoring, community outreach, and eventually starting his own program. This is inspiration for you tonight. Step Up to Leadership, a mentoring program for boys. With his passion for education, Arkevious wanted to further his learning and earned an associate degree in business management. Come through, somebody! All right, from Strayer University. All things are powerful. All things are powerful. You got a clothing line.
Yes.
You have books.
Yes.
Come on, tell us. Okay, because you see, I'm excited. All right, and they are going crazy. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Do me a favor, share with 2 people that you think may need to hear this tonight. And you guys, I'm telling you, do not leave. We're in a season where people's attention span is about average 2 to 3 minutes, but some things take time. We said, new year, new you. All right. And we're being dedicated to purpose. And on this platform, you're going to hear inspirational stories like Arkevious, who took the time. Do you see his glow? Do you see his light? Okay, so he's coming to share his story. And it's something that he can say. A lot of you have been praying, Lord, this, and asking God for things. And some of you are going to get your answer where you need tonight. A lot of you have had family members maybe dealing with children, your own child, that may be going through a season that Arkevious has came out of in a glorious way. So I encourage you, stay connected, okay? All right, and thank you everybody that has joined and supported tonight. How are you today?
Hey, I'm alive. I'm alive.
Yes,
Come on. I
that's
always tell
enough.
people that's enough. The rest we'll figure out. You know what I mean? God woke us up. You know what I mean? He did his part. We got to figure the rest out from this point. So thank you again. I want to thank you for reaching out to me and allowing me to be on your platform. I just feel like, you know what I mean, what God is doing in this season. I think the last year was a year of preparation. This is a year of execution. So listen, let's get it. Ain't no
Let's
holding, ain't
get
no
it.
slowing down. Let's get it.
And you got on my color red. I'm
That's
just
my favorite
saying.
color. That's my
Yeah,
favorite.
me too. I love it. Now, I mean, everybody, we shared a little bit. You caught my attention when you posted, and I love transparency because a lot of people are afraid to tell their story, but there's glory in the story. So when I was scrolling and I saw your pictures, I DM'd you right away. Now, I've shared them in my story. I've shared them. So a lot of people joined here, saw your story, and that's why they were like, how did he do that, right? Tell us about, we're going to start there real briefly. Tell us what was going on in your life at that time.
Okay. Before I start, I want to make sure that I have a good signal and you guys can hear me clearly. All right,
Give us
cool.
a thumb up. Give them some hearts that you can
I will.
hear.
You know, that's the worst thing is the audio. You can barely hear it. They end and you're like, I want to make sure everything's good. But that part, that pinnacle in my life, what I was going through a lot. You know what I mean? From the things that my mother was suffering from, she was dealing with her heroin addiction, and my father was also dealing with a heroin addiction. So, with a young kid who is surrounded around those type of things, only thing we can only think of is the worst. And actually the things that was happening was the worst. From molestation. I was suffering from being, fondled with and by men at an early age, and by women at an early age. Before I was 11, I was molested 4 times. And that was because of my mom. She was struggling with her drug addiction. So I was in and out the crack houses with her. And, been taken out the house and put in foster care, put in group homes, put in detention centers. I started building up this self-hate towards myself. I can honestly say that there were some things about me that I hated when I saw my reflection, or when I saw things in other people that I've always questioned, like, why do I have to go through this? Why am I experiencing these things? Why I can't have the life like they have? Why that I can't have that type of mom who is not on drugs? And, why do I have to live in these type of conditions where there's no running hot water or there's no lights in the house? I built up this hatred towards myself, and I was just lashing out. I was seeking attention, but I was seeking it in a way that it was causing more harm than it was causing good. And so I started using drugs at the age of 11 years old. And these drugs that I started picking up, it is crazy because I either watched my brother use these type of drugs, from marijuana to cocaine. And so again, I started smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol by 12 years old. I'm literally drinking alcohol. And I can recall very vividly my mom. Again, I give my mom credit before I even say anything. My mom's been 15 years clean from crack cocaine.
Come on,
You
let's
gotta come
celebrate
on, man.
that.
This,
Amen. God
that's
is just
major.
doing it.
That's
Yes.
major. And I say
Yes.
this because God would do it. God would do something through you to break other curses and generational curses in your family.
Yeah.
And but with my mom suffering and dealing with her own demons, she would constantly tell me, if you're gonna drink alcohol, if you're gonna smoke cigarettes, if you're gonna smoke weed, I'd rather for you do it in the house. This is a 12-year-old kid you're telling this to. This is a 12-year, and so to get that approval, I had a sense of I'm grown type of attitude. Can't nobody tell me nothing. And the only thing what happened, it took me down a dark place. And I started doing cocaine and marijuana about 13 years old. and going to school in the 5th and 6th grade, I mean, high and strung out my mind. And, you know, education to me wasn't important. It was survival. It's 2 free meals. It's a safety net. It's a way for me to get away from my reality. And sister, honestly, when you look at it, that's what a lot of these young girls and these young boys are dealing with, is a way for them to escape their reality. But the things that they're involved in is survival. The things that they're doing is survival, is what they're shown and what they're taught. But, you know, I found myself facing a life sentence. I was 13 years old. I was facing 24 years to life. And, you know, at this time, I've already been through the system. Before the age of 13, I've been in foster care, been in group homes, I've been in detention centers, in and out of detention centers. And I was on my way to training school. And I felt like this was a part of my story. This was a part of my life. What else could go bad? And, you know, I just found myself in this place to where I accepted it. I accepted it. And, you know, and to speak on something that we all have to understand, at what point in life when you're going to stop accepting what you went through and what you've been through in your past, and accept what God has called you to do. So that, and not going too deep, but that's when a light really hit for me, because at 13, I accepted what I felt like was a part of my life. And I ended up getting 4 years, though. I got 4 years at 13. I came home at 17, and I went right back at 19. I came home, went back around the same people, around the same environment, doing the same things, but 10 times worse. And so I started using pills real bad. I started getting on these drugs real bad. And at 19 years old, again, I was facing 35 years to life for another attempted murder charge before I was 20. So again, I accepted it. I accepted, like, this is a part of where I feel like my life is meant to pan out to be. And I remember I was asking my judge, the DA, not the DA, my lawyer, for 15 years. I say, if you could just get me 15 years, I'd take 15 years before I take 35 years. And so I end up signing a 10-year plea. Did 8 years and some change on the 10-year plea. But here's the question, because everybody asks, like, what happened? How did it happen? When did the light bulb come on? I gave my life to Christ. You know, and that right there alone is enough to give God praise. You know, I didn't grow up in the church. I wasn't introduced to the church. I didn't walk into a church till I was 25 years old.
Wow.
I didn't know nothing about Jesus Christ. I didn't know nothing about the Bible. My mom didn't go to church. My grandma had a big role in help raise me. She didn't go to church. My father definitely didn't go. So I was never raised up into that type of environment. So it was one of the things that I didn't know what to expect, but I was looking and I was searching for something different, something different than what I was exposed to, that I was familiar with. And what else do I got to lose, right? Like, okay, like everybody in prison keep telling me, like, Brother Armstrong, man, you need to come to Bible study. I'm like, man, I'm good. Brother Armstrong, you need to come to Sunday service. I'm good. Like, I used to stay to myself, but, you know, I always tell people, when God calls you, that's when it's the right time. You know, and sometimes you have to be at your lowest. Sometimes you have to be flat on your face. Sometimes you got to have nothing to call on. You got to have no safety net up under you when you don't have no other choice but to call on God. And I think that's where in 2005 in Lexington, Kentucky Federal Prison, I was 22, 23 years old. And that's when I gave my life to Christ. I gave my life to Christ. It was a scared feeling, an unfamiliar feeling. I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what to do. It was just, it felt like a huge burden was lifted off of me. It felt like everything now I can see clearer. I can hear things. It was almost like I was refreshed, renewed, revived. I don't know. And again, I cannot explain the feeling, but other than I felt vulnerable. I felt naked. And I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes God have to strip you and remove. And the things he have to strip you, the things he will strip you from is the things that cause you harm, the trauma that you experience, The very thing that a lot of us, we hold on to. That's why we can't walk into this new realm where God has called us, because we steady holding on to the molestations, right? We steady holding on to the things our father did to our father walked out. God stripped me from everything that will hold me accountable for holding on, right? I was holding on to all the hurt. He said, I'm going to allow you to forget listen, I'm going to take all that out your mind. I'm going to take all that out your heart. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like, and I'm going to shut up because I will go on. I'm going to let you, this is your show. And
No.
but, you
No,
know.
they're, you have them. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you know, I just feel like, you know, that's what God had. God didn't find me. I found God. He has always been there. Listen, everything that I was going through, he saw me through it. When I tried to kill that person when I was 13, he was there. He made sure that that person didn't die. When I tried to kill that person in 2019, he was there. When I shot that person in broad daylight in their chest, he was there. He covered that person.
Amen.
I'm allow you to go through this so I can get you through this, for you can work for you can praise me, so you can be my vessel, so you can be one of my soldiers on the front line. You're going to prepare yourself and prep yourself for something that you don't even have a clue what I'm prepping and preparing you for. You know what I mean? And it's not for us to understand. And I say my mom been 15 years clean. With me changing my life, it inspired my mom to get off crack cocaine.
Amen.
With me changing my life, it inspired a sister, my baby sister, who lived a life of crime, of stealing and boosting to provide for her kids, and not owning 2 businesses and 2 homes. It inspired my brothers to get out the streets and get jobs. Just with my presence, just what God would do something through you to break other curses. You know, go ahead.
Okay, love that.
Go
You
ahead.
know, I love what you're saying. And if y'all have any questions, you know, let's just read. My brother, you are speaking the truth right here. Thank you, Danielle. And I know a lot of your friends are coming in. You just have people totally captivated. He will do it. God never makes a mistake. That is it right there. Praise the Lord. Come on, God. Glory. You know, it's just, and that's what I saw. I just saw glory in your story. And you know, Southerngurl Speaks is based on transformation. It's about coming into alignment with God's will. And so that's why I love to find stories like yours, because people always, they see you on the cover of the book. They see you at the summits pumping up the kids, you know, and traveling and the clothing line and who you are today. But there was a gap of time between those pictures that you posted and who you are today. And there, in that space of time is what people are needing. There's so much going on in the world right now. I know people are depressed, people are suicidal, people are struggling, just not even in life, but in their mind. And so you and I both know that to step into purpose, that this is just like you said, it's something like you said, he never left you, you found him. And that's what we're encouraging people today. And that was the first thing that we said. God is real. God is real. And so you went through all that. You went through a story of forgiveness. You told us a lot about that. When you look back at that young man, when you think about like where you came from, what would you tell him? Like when you look back at those pictures, does it seem far away from you? Like, do you look at him and be like, what is that experience like for you?
I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I brought in my office. I have a mugshot on my wall, and I have another image of you might can see as a retractable banner. I told my 3-year-old daughter, I pointed at my retractable banner. I said, "Who is that?" She said, "That's you. That's Daddy." I pointed at the other photo on the wall. I said, "Who is that?" She said, "That's Daddy." I pointed at the mugshot. I said, "Who is that?" She looked at it. She paused for a second. She said, "A stranger." And I looked at her. I said, she's right. Because I didn't know who that young man was. I didn't know myself. And a lot of times what we don't understand, the things that we grew up witnessing, the things that we grew up, we experienced, the things that we had to encounter, we didn't know who that person was.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I would say to the young Kevis, because I am Arkevious, and I always tell people, address me as such. Arkevious has too much attached to it. Too many stories attached to it. Too many things that happen, trauma, pain, hurt. And you have to withdraw, separate, and kill that old you in order for something else to be birthed. So Arkevious would tell Kevis, it will all make sense down the road. And it's a picture that I posted, and it said that very same question you just asked me. What would I say to the younger me? It would all make sense later on. I would never thought in a million years that a name that I was so ashamed of, Arkevious Armstrong, I would never thought in a million years that the name that was associated and attached to the legacy, which wasn't a legacy, but it was attached to a generation of trauma, that I can turn that name into a legacy. That I can turn that very name that people would listen and hear the words that come out of his mouth, that I would take that very name and sign books. That I would use what God had transformed as a platform, the very dirt he would use to stand on. You said the mug shots, that's only 12. It's really 17 of them. The collage can't take 17.
Wow.
I'm going to use what the very thing that was meant to destroy you.
Yes.
I'm going to use the very thing that was meant to kill you. I'm going to use the very thing that people would have been ashamed of to elevate you, to help bring other people from out of their dark places, to help bring other people from out of their past traumas and stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't know how to do it. A lot of people don't know what it looks like. They don't know what it looks like. And so they need to hear, they need to see it from somebody who has actually done it and still doing it.
Yeah.
You know, the first one in my family, in my whole entire family, to write a book. No one ever told me. The first one in my family to start as businesses. No one ever told me that. No one ever told me the things that I can have. God gave this to me. And a lot of people got to understand something. And we said it earlier. There's people who choose and there's people who are chosen. God is real. And God gave me this. My life has an assignment. My purpose is bigger than everything that I went through. My purpose is bigger than my problems.
Yeah.
I have to walk accordingly.
Yeah.
Despite of. I know where I come from. I know, listen, I know the litter that I come from. I know who my mom is. I know who my father is. I know my family background.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now that I'm putting this name on my back. And I'm going to change the narrative. I'm going to change so many lives. I'm going to change so many young boys whose father walked out of their lives.
Yeah.
I'm going to change so many young women to understand that despite what your mama did to you, or despite what happened to you, that you are bigger, that you are greater, that the life that God has already written for you is greater than anything and everything you ever experienced.
Yeah.
So what I tell the younger me is the young men that I speak to every single day here in North Carolina, that it's possible.
Yeah.
Don't allow your circumstances, your situation dictate your future. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
You're looking at it. You're looking at it. Your life is a story. You overcoming the things that you experience in life is not for you, but it's for that other young girl.
That's right.
That other young boy.
Yeah.
It's for your family need your strength. You know, I think I saw my nephew jump on here and I'm so proud of my nephew. One of my oldest nephews who then got into real estate, went the first one to go to college. The first one to go to college. Yeah. Now they got into real estate, buying property, buying land, and he don't even realize how proud I am that we're changing that last name.
That's right. Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Armstrong. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. I'm going to read a few comments. Thank you all that have tuned in and joined so much. They keep saying you were chosen. God is in the business of creating a comeback story. He gets the
Yeah.
glory out of all of them. Thank you. Be inspired. You know, we love some inspiration. He will make you clean. It all makes sense later. They love that. That's encouraging to someone going through a storm right now. And Andre said they see the cover but not the core, and God let you live to tell your story. Amen.
Come on.
Amen. And so, you know, I mean, y'all definitely got to get the book. We're going to promo the book here, okay? And so you definitely have to support the book. We'll make sure you drop that in the comment. Now, it says on your bio that you go around inspiring. You mentioned that, talking to young people. And I know inspiration is the greatest gift that we can give. Inspiring people is the greatest service. That's why I say I inspire. But in order to be the inspiration, you have to be the example, right?
Yes,
what
ma'am.
does that mean? Your clothing line. Tell us about your clothing line, how you connected that, and going around. What does inspiration mean to you? Your purpose, inspiration.
Inspiration, again, is called Aspire Apparel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for those who don't know, my speaker name is ArkInspire, and I tell people it's a difference between inspired and motivated.
Yeah,
it's a big difference, right?
Yes.
I can be fired up, motivated. You know, as again, I'm a Cowboy fan. You know, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and
still,
you know,
anyway, we are fan
listen,
anyway.
well,
What you got?
I got my
back
jackets and
there?
hats and all. You know, I definitely gotta say that, you know, I'm a Cowboy fan at heart. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: we was fired up, we was motivated. Oh man, the energy was in the building, but the inspiration of understanding the assignment, who you are, and why you in that moment, it supersedes of any type of motivation. I don't like to be categorized as a motivational speaker. Mm-hmm. I'm an inspirationalist. I'm a person who is inspired, that even though you don't feel like it, even though that you don't have the energy, you don't have the motivation, you are inspired by a reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
See, motivation, I can be motivated by that morning, by midday, I don't like it, feel like it has been sucked out of me. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people, my apparel is something that inspire people in that moment. And what you read on a t-shirt, you never know. Like, I have so many quotes. My latest one is called look in the mirror, that's your challenge. Like, you're the challenge, something to that effect. It's right here. Look in the mirror, that's your competition. And so you are your biggest competition. Mm-hmm. You are your biggest enemy. Mm-hmm. You are your biggest mountain. You are your biggest obstacle. Yes. And again, when you just look at that, when you just read that, it just hits you. It resonates with you, right? Yes. Look in the mirror. Yes. That's your competition. Yes. Yes. And so my apparel, it inspires people. Yeah. It inspires people that you will come in contact with, right? And it's not, I'm not serious, I'm not in the fashion world, but when you go to the grocery store and somebody reads that, it was for them. Mm-hmm. If you go to the doctor's office, if you just do just the normal day-to-day things, you're going to come in contact with people. You're going to walk past people, and just that message right there alone is something that person needed. Yeah. That's what I feel like God has created me to be, that person that sparks, that ignites. Yeah. You know, I have a t-shirts we did, Black Sheep. And that's be different, even if that means standing alone. Mm-hmm. Where people were always they was always categorized as being the black sheep of the family. Mm-hmm. Being different is nothing wrong with being different. That's right. I'm unique. I'm just different. I'm special. During the pandemic, I did motivational posters. And I mean, amazing posters that people can hang on their walls. People can hang in their man cave or in their establishment, that they can walk by every single day and be inspired. I think one of them, I'm looking at it, says, only those that succeeded jump. If you want it, go for it. Take the risk. Don't always play it safe or you'll regret it later. And these type of things, God said, listen, just plant seeds. That's who Jesus was, right? Jesus wasn't in the church.
No.
Jesus he was a walking ministry.
Yeah.
He was the walking church.
Yeah.
He planted the seeds and he kept it moving.
Yeah.
He gave you a word and he kept it moving. Now, what you do with that word and that seed is completely up to you.
Yes. Yes. I love it. You know, I love it because I'm a talker too. And then when I'm done, I'm done. I love it. Let's read some comments. You're just so amazing. We need to get out our own way. Be inspired said, yes, you said that perfectly. I have always been drawn to the word inspire more so than motivate. Thanks for clarifying that. This is a true uplift to the people. That's from Jennifer Garrett. You got some more Cowboy fans. We're still recovering, but it's okay.
We're licking our wounds. We're licking our wounds.
Awesome testimony. And I'm looking at two of your quotes right here. And now, you know, this, I'm holding it in, but I'm so emotional. But it says, success has nothing to do with what you gain or accomplish in life. It's what you do for others. And today it's me. Tomorrow it can be you. Accept your greatness. You just, in order to inspire, you give so much of yourself. How do you recharge yourself? Because I know it's an energy. And, you know, even sometimes when you don't feel like it, people are going to be drawn to you or assigned to you with something. What do you do for yourself to replenish yourself? What are some outlets that you have?
And a great question. And I've always been a person that I always rely on the sources from God. And I'm okay. I know how to turn off. I know how to not answer. I know how to not be that accessible to everybody, that I can reserve that energy. I can reserve some of that for me. One of my biggest things, I love self-care. I love to do things for myself. I love to travel. I make sure that I'm balanced. You know what I mean? I don't want to pour so much in one area that these other areas are suffering and I'm neglecting those areas. But I'm huge on getting my feet done, getting my hands done, getting massages, going to the chiropractor, making sure my head right, making sure I go buy me a nice pair of shoes or buy me something, because those type of things, you work so hard. Treat yourself, right? Then I make sure my family is also, I give time to my family. You know, I make sure that I give time to my businesses. I make sure that I connect with other people who also are purpose driven, that, you know, I can just sit back and listen, not always be the one speaking, but also be the one receiving. I always tell people, you have to learn to be the student and when to be the teacher. You know what I mean? I get a lot from a lot of these young men that I mentor. Sometimes I just sit back. I love fishing, right? So that fishing is something that allows me to decompress, to release and to let go, because it just feels quiet and it's just me out there. But more so the fact that I don't surround myself around a lot of people. God is my only source. You know what I mean? I be still long enough. God give me things. Like if you see me posting so much, God giving me things. He's giving me things. You know, and I spend time alone. I don't watch television. I don't listen to the radio. Like, I spend time quiet. I spend time alone. And God, I'm listening. And like I said, if I'm around certain people, or if I'm around some of the people I look up to, you know, I'm listening. I'm quiet. You know, I'm letting them talk. I'm sitting back and I'm getting nuggets like that. But more so the fact, self-care. Like, you can't pour so much of you to the world and you neglect yourself. You know what I'm saying? I promote that. You know what I mean? Counseling. Ain't nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. Ain't nothing wrong with sitting.
That's
and I promote that to all my Black men out there. It's okay to see a therapist. It's okay to get professional counseling. But that's the most important thing. If I would say, what do I do to replenish, to refill? I love on myself. I love on myself.
You fill your tank. I love that. And they're all agreeing. We spend too much time thinking about the last play. You want to be ready for the next. That's my mama who said that. Okay.
That's
All right. Thank you, Fitness Junkie, for joining. We need to get out of our own way. I love it. Now, you have a clothing line. Tell us about your clothing. And I pinned his website down at the bottom. I'm telling you, when you go to his website, everything is there. And we're going to talk about your summit that's coming up. There's someone in the, how much time do you have, Arkevious?
Well, we got like what 25 more minutes. We got some
We
time.
actually do. Okay, so I have a gentleman that's inside. I don't know if he's going to come live, if he did it by accident, but we'll see if he's going to join. If some of you want to come on and just show some love and appreciation and feedback, I mean, we're real open to that. But I want, before we go to your clothing line, because this is for people to be set free, and I understand the journey of transformation and consecration. And that period alone time is what people run from the most, is being alone with themselves. So to encourage somebody that might be in that place and that's still seeking that external stimuli, but God is trying to answer their prayer and groom them for that next level by that alone time that a lot of people are afraid to have. Encourage someone why that alone time is so important.
That again, that is a awesome question statement.
Thank you.
It's and excuse me while I speak this to somebody, and I don't know, but you know, I have to say this because God is telling me to tell someone that I've been telling you, I've been showing you, but I need you to understand you have to stop being impatient. What you have to hear from God and what you got to see what God is trying to show you, you have to understand you have to practice being patient. Because with purpose come patience and discipline. And there's some areas in your life that you're becoming so impatient in. There's some things that you've been wanting to happen like overnight, and you're tired of going through what you're going through. But God said, I need you to be still so I can show you. I need you to be still so I can groom you. I need you to be patient so I can prepare you and prep you, because you haven't prepared yourself for this next phase. You haven't prepared yourself for this next level. And if I gave it to you right now, you wouldn't know what to do with it. I want you to understand that what God is trying to get you to go, where he's trying to get you to go, you have to let go. And you're trying to take things, you're trying to take people, you're trying to do too much and surround yourself around the wrong type of people. That's why I said, I need you to be still. I need you to be still, because with being still, it becomes more about me and you.
Yeah.
Not the opinion of others. And sometimes it's hard for you to be still and be quiet. It's because you're allowing your own thoughts. And God just gave me a revelation. He said, lean not on your own understanding, but trust and acknowledge me in all your ways. And if you don't understand that, lean not on your own understanding and trust him. It's not about you. God, it's about you. Where you got me going to. Listen, God just gave me another revelation. What do you have me going through? There's some things that you haven't went through yet. There's some things that you're still in the midst of. And it's hard to hear from God when you're still in the midst of the smoke. God said, I need you to trust me, but I need you to also understand I need you to be still. Yeah. Because in that season, it might take 5 years.
Yeah.
In that season, it's not your time, it's my time.
Yeah.
In that season, you're not ready for what you're praying for.
Come on.
Come on now. You're not ready for what you keep asking me for. You're not ready for it. I need you to sit still for a minute. I need you to purge some things. I need you to remove yourself from some people. I need you to listen. I need you to work on you. I need you to get on your knees more and pray. I need you to work on you more. God said the reason why you're not being still, the reason why you don't want to be still, because you surrounded and you listen, you are immersed around the very things that's stopping you from going where I'm trying to take you to. You can't go. You can't go. And it's what I want you to do is understand it's going to cause you to separate from some things and from some people. You love your mama so much. You love your parents so much. You love your kids so much. See, the things that we connect ourselves to don't want to see God greatness. That's why they want to always laugh at things that you're telling God is speaking something in your life. That's why they want to always try to point you in a different direction. They want to always take your focus. God said, I want you to remove yourself. Find yourself in a quiet place. Yeah. You're afraid of that quiet place because you're afraid to face you. I want you to see yourself. And it's crazy because when people see the mug shots, they don't even recognize the person they're looking at. They always ask, who is that person? See, when God take you from a place, when God clean you up, you don't look nothing like what you come from. You don't look nothing like what you've been through. I'm 40 years old. Don't look nothing like what I've been through. But I had to be still. And see, being still, you're still going to go through some things.
Come on.
See, listen. See, when God finished breaking you down and building you back up, a lot of people don't want to be broke down. But I'm telling somebody right now, be still, be quiet, and allow God to do the things in your life. It's going to be some times where you're going to feel like you're in it by yourself, but he's in your corner. There's going to be some times where you feel like you don't know where you're going left or right, but he's guiding you. There's going to be some times where you feel like you've been stagnant, you're not moving. He's saying, be still, I'm still working. See, what God is doing is beyond your comprehension, but it's not for you to understand. Like I said earlier, lean not on your understanding, because your way of thinking ain't God's way of thinking. Your time is not God's time. What you guys are looking at right now in this moment took 15 years. And when I gave my life to Christ, I did not know. I did not understand. And I did not see this. It took 15 years. Because when I gave my life to him, I said, I'm not turning back. No matter what I go through, I'm not turning back. I'm not going down that road no more. I'm not walking this thing alone no more. God, whatever you're trying to do in my life, again, just don't do it without me. Wherever you want to use me, use me. And if that means I have to do this by myself, and it seems like it's hard, God, I know you right there in my corner. Trust God. Depend on God. Believe in God. Walk by faith. Understand that he's right there. But you have to be still. You have to be patient. And you have to trust God. And that's what I wanted to leave you guys with. But I'm not leaving you guys, but I want to give you guys that nugget.
It's penetrating. You know, I got to go back to... Monique said, I'm driving. You got me about to pull over and run around this car.
Listen, pull over. Pull over. Pull over.
Yeah.
Listen, get your praise on, pull over.
Yeah.
God, listen, God's speaking through me to you. I don't know, Miss Moni, I don't know what you're going through.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're experiencing. But I'm telling you right now, I know you've been waiting on whatever it is. God said, listen, you're closer than what you know. That thing is right around the corner. I don't know what information you got. I don't know who's done told you what. But God said, rely on my resources. Rely on my word. Stand on the word and depend on me. Miss Monique, give God his praise. I'm telling you right, pull that call over right now. Pull that call over right now.
All right, boy, you got me about to run. I'm trying to listen. I'm telling you, such a blessing, such a blessing. And you know, that's why this is important, because we live in a time, and if nothing else that you see here tonight, the main message is that God is real. Right. Okay, this young man, Arkevious, right here, is a reflection. But what he's also saying and penetrated to you is that you are chosen and that there's purpose in you as well. And so he's speaking to ignite a fire inside of you, that we stop looking to the left and the right, what other people are doing. Like he said, you are your biggest competition, that there's things that you are going to have to die to inside to get to that. We always look at other people's processes, but there's one for you too. You are here for a reason. I tell people that all the time. And I know what comes against us in life. And so that's why we are blessed to have a platform right here to encourage each other, to break those limiting thoughts off of our mind. We have unlimited potential. And so, Southern Girl Arkevious, we're just here to show you that we are able to walk into our purpose because God gave us our identity. Once we see ourselves how he sees us, you know, and so all he's saying that time alone is for God to allow you to see who he created you to be, right? And like you said, it was a 15-year process, but it's a submission. It's a submission to his will. And we all know what it's like to do it without him. But let's be purposeful in 2022, starting today. It's January 20th. It's never too late. We don't have to wait until tomorrow. Our time is not, God's time is not the world's time. We don't wait till the end of the year to have a day to go into a new year and say, I'm going to start anew. Every day is your birthday. Every day is a day to start anew, okay? So like I said, you are not here by accident. I did not see his picture scroll. We were not even friends on Facebook, okay?
Yeah, we wasn't. We wasn't. We wasn't. And it's crazy because it was like, you hit me up. I'm like, all right, you know, I get hit up so much, but I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, yes, because it was divine. And the thing about it, too, Arkevious, if I wasn't in my purpose and you weren't in your purpose, we would have connected.
Come on. Come on.
Come on now.
Speak on
and so
Speak on
a lot of what you're seeking, you guys, is going to happen once you come and submit to his will. So someone said they caught a break. Thank you, Farrah, for joining. Divine connection. Hearts, happy tears are rolling down my cheeks. You got a man crying right now. Those chains are broken right now in the name of Jesus. He said you have a new follower, okay? All right. You are an example of why we shouldn't give up on anybody. You are an example of why we shouldn't give up on anybody, because God will never give up on us. All right. I love it. Come on, go ahead. Let it flow. Go ahead.
Listen, I want to say this because I feel like what we got to understand in this season, we have to accept the call and the role on our lives, and understand that, you know what I mean, despite of what it looks like, or despite of what you have to go through, you still have a calling on your life. And don't be like Moses that you run for 40 years. Because even when you accept that call, you still have the same calling on your life. And so despite of what it looks like, despite of the resources you may not have, despite of the knowledge that you may not have, but I always tell people, God will make the unqualified qualified. God will make the unskilled skilled. God will make you, listen, God allowed me to come from where I come from, but to sit at the table amongst millionaires, to sit at the table amongst people who are willing to write a check. God, listen, God took the very thing out of what I went through: police brutality, shot at by police officers, restraint chairs, mace, knocked unconscious, everything that you could possibly think of, kicking on the prison doors all night long. Now I walk back in because I'm a contractor to put programs inside the jail. God, listen, what God can do through you, you just have to allow him in. See, he can't do nothing until you allow him in. I can't bless you. I can't show you until you allow me in. You can't get nothing from me until you allow me in. So my only advice to anybody that's on here, allow God in so he can move and work in your life. I am the example.
Yes.
God said, the moment you allow me in, now I can maneuver, I can direct. It's almost like this. You can't allow something to become fixed or renovated or change unless you start from the inside out. God just gave me another revelation. I don't know who this is for, but what God is telling me to tell you is this. In order for something to become new, he had to strip from the inside out. Anytime they want to gut something, anytime they want to rebuild something, it starts from the inside out. They start taking out the things that doesn't need to be there. They start breaking down the inside of the wall. And once everything is done, you just have the framework and the foundation. God said, I need you to let me in. Because what I'm about to do, everything that's still a part of you, I can't use it. He can't use anything that associate with what's still holding you. God said, what I want to do through you, you need to let me in. You got to let me in order for me to turn this thing, your life, into where I want you to go and where I want you to be and where I feel like you want to be and go in life. You got to allow God in. And we don't want God to change us because we don't want to change us. My mom said it best. She said, Arkevious, I didn't want to change. No matter how much you wanted me to change, I didn't want to change. God can't do nothing through you until you want it. No matter how much we do this interview, no matter how much I give you all these nuggets, you gotta want it. I wanted it. I wanted change.
Yeah.
I wanted something different.
Yeah.
I didn't want what I didn't want that no more. I've already knew what it gave me. It's time for you to go into this thing and time for you to trust God. It's all or nothing. What you got to lose? Yeah. You don't have nothing to lose but everything to gain when you trust God and you allow God. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain when you trust God. I promise you that. I promise you that. And
no, go ahead. No, we have to minister before you go, and then we're going to talk about your clothing line. I'm so thankful that, and God, He's such a blessing. And every time I look, that's what I say, you are His vessel. You are such a light. Now, Arkevious, we have a mom on here. And
talk to me.
She said, let me find her comment. She says she has a son facing a life sentence. P.L. Moni. She said, I guess 2 of her sons. She said, I have a son that got a life sentence. What can you say to that mom today, Miss P.L. Moni?
I said, 2 sons I'm fighting every day. I need to hear this. Something that my mom will always say. Every time I got incarcerated, every time I got locked up, she said, I felt peace. Regardless of your sons being locked up or facing a life sentence, sometimes that's what God needs to find them at. That's what God needs to speak to them through those type of circumstances and situations. And as a mother, and I'm very transparent, as a mother, I'd rather you able to see them alive and happen to visit a grave and speak to a ground. There are so many young men that have lost their lives, and mothers just wish and pray that they could just have that one conversation. You still can talk to your sons. You still can see your sons. Just because they locked up physically, spiritually, they need to be free. They can be free. So you still got to pray for them. You still got to uplift them. Because I'm going to tell you the honest God truth. If you've been on this live the whole entire time, you would have heard me say, I turned my life around while I was incarcerated. Incarceration has made some of the best men because God couldn't get them when they was on the streets. Change couldn't happen when they were surrounded around all the distractions. I've never seen somebody go in prison and come out looking worse. They always look clean, refreshed, skin clear. They picked up some weight. They look a whole lot better. Pray for them. Keep them uplifted, and always understand, as long as they're incarcerated, sister, you still got your babies. You still got your babies. There are some mothers right now who last year in 2000, 2 kids in my program got killed. 14 years old and 16 years old. I have a brother who just lost his son right now who's facing a life sentence for a murder charge. And I told my brother, I said, listen, you tell your son, he still has life. There's a mother who has to grieve every single day because they'll never see their son ever again. Just because they locked up physically doesn't mean they locked up. I hope they find Christ or whomever that a higher power is to their life. But you still can talk to them on the phone, sister. You still can go see them. And there's some mothers right now that don't have that privilege. So you use that opportunity and say, listen, God, I'm glad you didn't take my babies away from me. Or I'm glad you didn't allow no one to take my babies away from me. And I still can see my babies. I have a brother been down for 22 years. He got 30 years. I got cousins who got 100 years. And guess what? Their kids are still able to go visit them.
Yeah.
Their parents, their moms, they still can go visit them.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be you able to go see them in prison than going to a grave site and speaking to a tombstone or a rock or some dirt and wishing they were still here. That's the best honest advice I can give. That's the best honest. And like I said, I'll be praying for you too. What's her name?
PL Money. PL Money, do me a favor when we end, go to our Arkevious page. It's all
message
on
me.
my, and
Yeah.
send him a message and stay connected. And we have Farah. She said, this is how I feel about my little brother who is doing 30 years and a nephew doing 40. I believe that they would be dead by now if they were still in these streets. And you know, that's why I'm an educator. And I understand your passion for children, for the youth. That's an intervention in its own right, because what you're doing is counteracting a potential road they could be going down as well.
Yes, ma'am. And that's all it is. You know, I feel like with my organization that I created a nonprofit here in Charlotte, and I focus on helping young men to focus on things like social development, social and personal development, social and personal etiquette, conflict resolution, decision-making skills, business and trade, financial literacy. I help a lot of young men to get opportunities to see things and go places that they probably would have never experienced. I feel like experience is the best teacher. God gave me something to create opportunities for young men as though myself. Imagine if I would have had someone like myself that can bring young men and put them out on a boat to go fishing, to take them to the mountains, to men's retreat, to give them opportunities to do things that they would have never have done in a million years. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I just feel like, you know, my life has been an example of what you can go from to, but where I'm at now, my responsibility to show you where you can go from here and take your life. You know what I mean? I just didn't stop saying, hey, I'm out of prison, I'm working. No, I created opportunities. Like writing my second book. I'm working on my third book right now. You know what I'm saying? Taking my story and putting it on a movie. You know what I mean? Taking these things, God said, I'm giving you vision. I'm giving you ideas.
Yeah.
Because what you experience is going to be the very thing that set other people free. You talking about, I was 26 years old, 36 years old. I'm sorry, 36 years old. I'm sorry, 38 years old when I forgave my mom. You talking about 38 years old. I told my mom, there was times I couldn't be in your presence because I felt like you owe me something. I told my mom I couldn't be in your presence because I felt like you owe me something. You owe me an apology. Everything that I went through, it was because of your addiction. But it was that very moment where I realized I need to apologize to set me free. I need to set myself. Me forgiving her was for me. Yeah. But I wanted her to have an opportunity to share her story. And guess what happened? I did a documentary showing the conversation me and this woman have where it was impossible a couple of years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so writing a book to help you work on the things that's a self-assessment guide, helping you work on things that can better your life and overcome a lot of your challenges. And all of these links I put in the comments. So all you have to do is click the link and place your order, support it. But like you were saying, like that was one of the things I just feel like my life is an example. That's why the police department, I partner up with the local police department here. You know what I'm saying? They help put my programs in schools, in the communities. You know, while so many people are seeking and looking for programs for these young boys, they're looking at like, how can somebody like this come from where he come from and turn it around? I've seen some of my young men jump on this social media, this Instagram live. There's a lot of my young men that I mentor, they follow me. They follow me. Man, you'd be surprised some of the stories, some of the young men that I come in contact with.
Yeah.
You know, but
I just keep hearing you became what you needed.
I became what I needed to be.
Yeah.
For God.
Yeah.
God. And, you know, and what people are witnessing right now is really that they're looking at God.
Yeah.
When you come in contact with me, even if on this live, what do God looks like? What do he look like? What do he sound like? What do it feels like? And if you can't feel that feeling, if you can't acknowledge that when you're in the presence of someone, God is living through me.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people all the time, this is not me doing this. This is not me doing this. This is not mine. Even with this empowerment summit that we're taking on the road, God gave this to me in a vision.
Yeah.
And when God speaks, I move. I don't question. I don't second guess it. When God speaks, I move. I trust it. God, I don't know how it's going to work. And that's what we have to understand. We have to start walking. We have to start living that life. Like, God, I don't know how it's going to work. But whatever you say, I trust it.
Yeah.
Whatever you tell me to do, I do it. Because I know for a fact it'll work out. You don't have to see it. The Bible says also in Hebrew 11, faith is substance thing not give me. I don't want to mess up the verse, but it says faith is a substance thing hoped for and evidence of things not seen.
Yeah.
Faith is the things that hope for. Like I hope for, but I can't see it.
Yeah.
God said it's not for you to see it.
Yeah.
So you have to trust. God said, trust me on the vision, on the sight. That's why everything I touch turned to gold. Everywhere I walk, doors open. It happens. Everything I touch turns to gold.
Come on.
Everywhere I walk, doors open.
Come on. Yes.
I don't have to knock on the door because it's divine.
Come on. Yes. Yes.
I'm walking right into doors. I'm walking right into rooms where people are like, how you do that? Bro, listen, man, listen. You got to talk to God on that. God he gave me vision. I got up and I did it. And that's why people looking at like, man, you're so amazing. No, he is.
Amen. Amen.
He is.
Amen. To God be the glory.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
You know what? I feel like you're going to come back. We're going to manifest that. Okay. I got that down low. You will be back, but next time you're going to be a co-host. We're going to do some things together. You're going to be in Dallas. We're going to support your summit. And so real quick, so for your links, because they don't always translate well in the comment, but after the live ends, I'm going to save and you can put them down there. Okay. But also, you guys, there's the website, www.ArkInspire.com. It's very simple. Everything connected to Arkevious is there. Make sure you follow him, ArkInspire, on Instagram. And then also on Facebook. I mean, anything he has is on my page, and it's going to be a link to guide you to him because I wanted you to be connected to this vessel. Your books, hold them up real quick. Tell us about your book. Do you have your clothing line, some merch to show?
Yeah, I guess I can. Lord,
yeah, go ahead. You're at home. We're family.
They packaged up.
Okay. While you do that, Stay Hall says, and there's always a brighter day as long as you never give up.
You don't make me get up now. You don't make me get up. And so, real quick, and again, thank you for the shirts. She's right here. Okay. They're long sleeve shirts. You got the royal blue, white, and red. So look in the mirror. That's your competition. You got the gray, white, and red. Of course, you got my book, Confidence from Within. It's a 60-day challenge. Something that you can write down. You can make a self-assessment, information that you can apply to your life. I always tell people knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power. If you don't apply yourself to the information that you obtain, it's useless, right? Yeah. And so, like you said, and just real quick, I could just give you one of one of the challenges that there's a proverb that states, good things come to those who wait. It is well known, says it holds a lot of truth, but have to come to learn to understand the flaws because it is incomplete. Nothing good comes to those who wait. Good things come to those who get out there and execute and go out there and get it. Like I said, it's full of information, full of knowledge, information that you can apply yourself to. Things if you are on the road in the morning, whatnot, you're at your job, you're at your cubicle. Also, the documentary is a 30-minute small film with me and my mom. It talks about the story.
So that's actually like a DVD, like something you can watch?
Yeah, absolutely. We have it on DVD. We have it on DVD. We have it on thumb drive. I know a lot of people say, well, hey, we don't have DVDs no more. Listen, if you don't, you can play it in your son's PlayStation 4.
There you go. But you know what? I see this year that you're going to translate that into another way as well, because that needs to be seen. I love that.
Oh, we have them on thumb drives as well.
Okay.
I got them over here somewhere, but we have thumb drives where you can plug in your computer. If you have a smart TV, it plugs into your smart TV as well.
There you go. So you already ready. You stay ready. You don't have to
absolutely.
Get ready. Okay.
Oh yeah. But I always tell people it's good to have this because it's tangible. It's something that you can hold. Exactly. You know what I mean? You can always look at. So like you said, the t-shirts, the posters. We got the posters, the 36 by 24 inspirational posters that you can hang on your wall. Again, man, I'm just a walking inspirational individual who just that's all I want to do. But the posters on my website, you go to my website, www.ArkInspire. How many times did I say W? Did I say it 4 times?
You did. It's okay.
www.ArkInspire.com. You will see the posters. You will see the DVD. You'll see the documentary. You'll see the book. You'll see apparel. And again, the goal is to get back out there to Dallas. I was in Dallas last year to bring the summit. So if you got followers on here right now that's in Dallas, listen, y'all tap in with us. The goal is to get out there to take this empowerment summit around the world. God is going to see that. He's going to make sure that happens. But I want to tap in with you out there in Dallas too as well.
It's already done. I already see it. Yes.
It's done.
I love it.
It's out there. It's done.
It's already done. And Monique says, thank you for being obedient, Southern Girl. Thank you, ArkInspire. Receive every word. Continue to trust God on your assignment with him. As we close out, you guys, sow a word. I want you to also sow a seed. Go to www.arkinspire.com. Is there a way they can donate to your mission, to what you're doing?
Absolutely. Man, listen, my nonprofit, Step Up to Leadership, if you want to be a contributor to that, that is if you can't put in the comments, cash out, or I can probably put in there
do
myself.
That for me. Yeah, that'd be great.
I can do that right quick. If y'all could just be patient with me. SUTLNC. That's one. Boom. If y'all,
if you're sowing here, you know you're sowing into good soil. Yes.
Soil. Then the next one, I want you to make sure that you can be a blessing.
And you can screenshot this, guys, with your phone.
All day. All day. You know what I mean? And so that's one of the biggest things I always tell people, man, sow a seed. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Time of treasure. Time of treasure.
The more you give, the more you receive.
And you know, and the only thing you realize, a lot of people don't realize, when you sow a seed, you allow other ideas that I want to put together. You help fund that. You help be a blessing to that.
That's right.
Again, I want to just thank you. I gave you the Cash App to the nonprofit. If you want to learn more about the nonprofit, here I'm gonna give you all the information.
You are ready. You are You know what? You put that business degree to work for sure.
Hey, listen. That's all God. I ain't even do that. You know, and I tell people, man, like, understand that, you know what I mean, you gotta operate right. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do this thing, you gotta operate right. And what God done for me, he gave me the vision, he gave me the information, the relationships, and you know, it's what I do with it from there. And I think about the Matthew 25, where God gave one person 1 talent, he gave another person 2 talents, then he gave another person 5 talents. And that person who gave 5 talents to, he quadrupled the talents, right? And God said, you know, mate, he honored that person because you knew what to do with that blessing. Then the person he gave 2 talents to, he also honored him because he knew what to do with that blessing. But the person who had 1 talent, he held on to it. He buried it thinking for a rainy day. I just don't know what could possibly happen. God said, you slow and slothful servant. He was disappointed in him. God has gave us all different gifts, different talents. What you do with that gift, what you do with that talent is completely up to you. I've took my story and created a whole program, created a curriculum, written a book, turned into a movie, bring out t-shirts, did posters. Now I'm speaking across the world. I just was on a 20-city tour. Now I got programs inside the jail. I got programs inside the schools. I got programs in the community because I took that gift and talent and that second chance and quadrupled it.
Yes.
So your seed is sowing into good soil.
Yes.
Because I know what to do with the seed.
Come through.
Come on.
You better come through.
I know what to do with the seed. You know what I mean? So again, man, I thank you so much. And whatever blessing you guys, feel free to bless me small or large. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold no limit on your pockets. You know what I'm saying? But let God use you. But again, like I said, your seed is sowing into good soil.
It is. We see the fruit. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we're going to get some gears. So inspiring, all of that. I hate to let you go. We have gone, and it's on 11, 911, 911. Okay, already. So I love it with the red. So thank you guys. They don't want to let you go either. But thank you all for joining. You definitely see him back again. We are connected. And so he has a summit. Will your summit be virtual or is it all in person?
We might make this one virtual, but this one is all in person.
Okay.
But, you know, listen, if anybody on here, if you feel like this summit is something that you want to be a part of, is something that you would love to see in your city, listen, reach out to me. Reach out to me because we want to be a part of Dallas. We want to be a part of I know what's going on in Dallas and Houston.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on. You
yes.
know, because I was just out there. So I know what's going on. And if you're saying, listen, we got a group of kids, we can put this thing together. Listen, tap in with me, DM me, follow me. I can send you to a link so we can make sure that we can put something together. But again, God is doing something major. And again, I just want to whoever I can connect with, I want to connect with. You know what I mean? If somebody believe in this vision, guess what? Let's make it happen. So your job, you're going to get me out there?
It's already done. I mean, it's on my to-do list at the top.
I appreciate that.
Yes, yes. I love it. Thank you so much, Arkevious. You've been a blessing. You've touched some lives tonight. You have definitely inspired us all. And so this is Southerngurl Speaks closing out. We hope this word penetrates and manifests in your life. Go out and implement everything that you heard here today. You saw a willing vessel. You see an example that everything that you're asking God for, he was sent here today as a messenger. Want to let you know that God is real, but he's also real in your life and that there's more for you to do. There's more in store in 2022. So this is Southerngurl Speaks, GURL, giving, understanding, real and loving. And this is Southerngurl Speaks, and I have spoken. Arkevious, say good night.
Good night. Y'all be blessed.
Right. Okay, take care.
All right.